We cross all the norms. We refuse the boundaries that are set for religion, for love, for togetherness. We are here to refuse those boundaries.
You know, actually, when we were staying with Aaniqua, some of the times they didn't know Aaniqua was with me. So Aaniqua could ask them for food and all that, and they will send that money for food.
They didn't know Aaniqua is with you?
They didn't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, immediately they knew is the day we did Aaniqua.
Oh.
Yeah, immediately they knew we were still together. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, how long was that period that you are together and you don't know?
I think almost, how long was it? 3-4 years.
What?
Yeah.
In our world, most people follow certain rules and beliefs based on where they're from and what they believe in. But what if I told you about a couple who decided to ignore all of that and ended up being known by the same name?
One of the first signs that God showed me that Ian is mine is his name being in my name. So Ian's name forms part of my name. So I say, if Ian is taken out of me, you take away the whole Aaniqua. There's no Aaniqua anymore.
You know, when I see Aaniqua, I won't think she's going to be mine. Yeah, but the courage came from her accepting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, once she accepted and
she boosted.
Yeah, I got the courage now.
That's what I was looking
yeah,
at.
So once she accepted for me to be her man, it completely, now there was no stopping me. Yeah, it's possible. And yeah, I always say she's given me the first class experience, which I could have never had as an African.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, you heard it right. They don't come from the same origin, don't have the same beliefs, and they had different religions. But for the true love they shared for each other, they became able to cross all boundaries until they got to live together as a wife and a husband.
So when my brother walked past the bag, he asked me, "What is this? Are you going back to university?" Then is when I broke it to them. I go like, "No, I'm going to stay with Ian." Oh, hell broke loose in the house that day. It was up and down. It was tough. I had to have the strength. It was hard. It was extremely hard.
So the first time that I kissed her, it was back in high school. Already I'm standing on that side with my friend. The mango tree is there and she's standing. So we are discussing here with my friend. She's discussing there. You know, then we came the first time and we tried. They'll go like, "No, that's not a kiss." Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, we were so young and scared.
I met this wonderful couple during my time in Kenya, near the beautiful Lake Victoria in Kisumu. Come along with us as we unravel the pages of their journey, discovering how they showed bravery, stayed strong, and proved that love can conquer any challenges that crossed their path. It's a story that will surely touch your heart and inspire you.
Hello. This is Aaniqua Kihuha, or Mrs. Kihuha, part of Rakistani. I am the Pakistani that forms Rakistani, Rastaman's wife. Currently, we are all here in Kisumu, Kenya. Kisumu is a lakeside city in Kenya. It is famous for its Lake Victoria. It's one of the most beautiful. We call it the mighty Kisumu.
My name is Ian Harold Kihuha Tuku. I have 4 names. I come from the Luo tribe. We say we have 4 names in the Luo tribe. Yeah, actually I think it's the only tribe in Kenya that have the 4 tribes. Yeah, 4 names, yeah. So I was born here in Kisumu. I grew up here in Kisumu. I have not moved so much my entire life. I have grown up in a single parent home. Yeah, I grew up with just my mom only and my brother. It was just the 3 of us. Yeah, so I'm the firstborn, and my brother who follows me. Right now, they are currently staying in Nairobi. We went astray for a while I went to look for the greener pastures. I left them at home.
So I've lived in Kisumu for most of my life. I was born here, so I've lived here for most of my life. Studied in one school. So I was brought up in a very simple background. My parents were very simple. They brought us up with a lot of values and a lot of respect. So I've not grown up in a background full of a lot of money, but I've grown in a background full of a lot of respect. So from a young age, what Pakistanis love to do is to cook. So I learned cooking at a very young age. I have grown up in a lot of festivals, a lot of gatherings, functions. That is one major part of my background. So for me, I say my parents did not spoil us with money, but they gave us the mind to survive in the world.
Coffee. So welcome, Afrimax. Welcome to the Rakistanis.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's called Coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, so a doctor. Yeah.
Wow.
So as I've said, I've grown up in a single home. So most of the time my mom wasn't around. I had to be in charge of the home at all times. Yeah, so that has always given me that, whatever I want, I go and get it immediately.
Even though they were born in the same place, they didn't grow up together. Now, you might wonder, how did they end up having a relationship that brought them to where they are today?
As I said, I grew up in one school. So from class 1 to Form 4, I have studied in one school, Jalaram Academy. There's where I met my dear husband. So as soon as I started learning about love, Ian was there in my life. That was in class 8. I was 12 years old. I was just learning about relationships, that you grow and these are feelings you have. And that is when Ian was introduced into my life.
So when I saw Aaniqua, it didn't initially begin as, okay, this is where I'm going to settle down. Like, it didn't begin like that. In fact, I have never been with someone else ever. Aaniqua is the only person I've ever been with.
Number one.
And last.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. So when we started, it wasn't that serious. As you've heard, 4 years it took us just to sit together. Yeah, so when we began now interacting, I came to really love her. And apparently God was giving us the opportunities. It was more of us to take it.
So many people find it funny, but Ian and I noticed each other the first day. And the first day that we noticed each other, ever since then, here we are. We normally argue about the class it is. So this was in class 8, but the subject was different in Ian's mind and mine. I say it was religion. Ian says it was an English class.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the class is the same, but the subjects differ. Like Ian is like
you and him, you are not sure.
Yeah, but the class, the scenario is the same. So we were in class 8 as I told you when we met. I was sitting at the front of the class. I was a front bencher. Ian was a back bencher. So there were some questions being asked to the people behind me. And as we all turned to look behind, my eyes met Ian, who was at the back corner. And Ian winked at me. Oh. Yes, he winked at me. So I turned away and I looked back at him and I tried to wink, but I didn't know how to wink. So I blinked both my eyes. So he smiled at me. And ever since that smile, it like bonded us. That was our time to see each other, to recognize each other. That was our very first day. So it's very crazy.
So, then?
Yeah, then after that day, so that was the very first day we met. That was in class 8. That was the class we met in. So I noticed Ian the first day came. I would go and tell my friends, there's a new boy in our class. His name is Ian,
So it was the winking only. There's no, like, after class you went and greet each other?
No, that winking only. For me, okay, you see the background I come from. One thing is, being a Pakistani and being a Muslim, there's different morals you have. So Ian and I would never sit together.
This was the time when their relationship was just beginning to develop. But here's the tricky part. They were studying at the same school, in the same class, and they followed different religions. This made things a bit challenging because their different beliefs were a big deal. On top of that, mixing love and studying wasn't allowed. How did they handle all of this?
Somehow, the principal, we say, protected our relationship, because she would call us and she would tell us, don't do these things in front of people. Like, people are just coming and talking about you. Just don't do them in front of people. She would tell us that. She would not say leave each other, but she would say don't do these things in front of the rest of the people.
Which things?
Like even there's a lot of hate we already got from high school. Like, people didn't want to see us together. So you know how obviously relationships in high school is not like permissible in most senses. So they would go and snitch us, something like that. They would go and snitch us that they're dating. And couples who are dating would be called and told, you know, you're not supposed to do this in high school, you need to concentrate. So us, among being called, we were not shouted at. We were just told, just don't expose yourselves, like just do what you're here to do. You have something to focus on.
So the first time that I kissed her, it was back in high school. It was a dare. We had a dare between us classmates, and they knew that we're in a relationship. So they dared us. It was early in the morning, and we decided, okay, we can't do it in class. Let's wait until school is over, so that we can just do the dare, so that people can know we did the dare. So we went. The mango tree is still here. We went under a mango tree. Yeah, it was just Aaniqua came with a friend just for the witness, and I came with my friend for a witness. We couldn't do it in front of people. Yeah, so and it was hard at first. It was so.
So you were how many people?
Four. Yeah, we were 4 people. Yeah.
So you have a witness.
I have a witness, my guy, and she has a friend. Yeah, so we under the mango tree. Yeah, and already I'm standing on that side with my friend. The mango tree is there, and she's standing. So we are discussing here with my friend. She's discussing there. You know. Then we came the first time and we tried. They'll go like, no, that's not a kiss. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, we were so young and scared. Yeah. We were
There was one important thing they couldn't ignore. They needed to let their parents know about their relationship because it was getting more serious. This could be a tough challenge, and it might not be easy at all.
So let me speak about the very first one. For my parents, it was very difficult for me to firstly share with them, but they did get the hints because Ian used to come home for tuitions. We used to do tuitions together. We used to do after school tuitions together with even some other friends, but Ian and I particularly used to do a lot of tuitions, just the two of us with the teacher. So I believe my parents from there had started getting the hints of there must be something between these two. But who I would like to speak of first is Ian's mom, because Ian's mom is the one who was our first foundation as a couple in high school. Why I say this is because she gave me the sight to see that our relationship is a possibility. She used to see me as a daughter-in-law when we were very young. So Ian's mom actually has raised a very powerful man. So her values were different. I used to communicate to her when we were still in high school. I would take for her a cake when we celebrate a birthday. That is how I got to meet her my very first time. I took for her a piece of cake, and that was the first time I got to see her live. So she has given us a lot of strength by showing me that our relationship can work out. And I give her something I believe in is something good doesn't come to you easy. You must work for it. So yes, I've had many days of battling, of physical battling to be with Ian. One of the days maybe I can share with you, our family, one of the toughest days was during COVID. It was a period in COVID when I had decided that if I'm not going to get the acceptance, then I'm going to go stay with Ian anyway. So what I did was I spoke to Ian about that scenario, and I told him I'm going to come home. I can't take it that we are standing where we are not being appreciated. So I told him I want to come and stay with him, whatever it takes. So that day I packed my bags. I was living with my parents, and you can just imagine packing your bags, being a young girl. I think by then I was 21 years old. So I packed my bag, and I left it on the side of the sofa. I just left it there, didn't mention anything. So in the morning, when everyone would walk past, no one noticed the bag till my brother woke up. So I have a brother. I have an older brother. We are just 2 siblings, me and my brother and my parents. That's how we have been. So when my brother walked past the bag, he asked me, "What is this? Are you going back to university?" Then is when I broke it to them. I go like, "No, I'm going to stay with Ian." Oh, hell broke loose in the house that day. It was up and down. It was tough. I had to have the strength. It was hard. It was extremely hard.
It was scary at first because we didn't know the response from the family. But once she came, it was one thing that I had to know for myself is, as Aaniqua is going to come to my life, it means I have to be responsible now for her. Yeah, as she's leaving her parents' house and coming to my home, I better be aware of that. And around that same time is when I stepped out of my mom's wings as well. Yeah, you know, as a man, so I got out of that wing. I got into my place. I even told my mom, now no more support. Now it's me and the world.
After all this, nothing went simple. But when something is genuine, it usually turns out okay, even if the journey is tough. Despite facing challenges, true things have a way of working out positively, even if the path is hard. Later on, their families supported them, and they got married. Their dreams finally came true that day, after facing a long and tough journey.
I think that day was really special because how our ceremony happened was very simple. Our ceremony was just simple. We say angels surrounded the ceremony, no one else. It was no one else but just angels. Very small ceremony in a very humble mosque. So it was very blessed the first night when I came home. Ian kept mentioning, do you know you're my wife now? Do you know you're my wife now? I said, yes, I do know. I hope you know. Yes, it was a very special day. For us, though, we believe ever since we knew each other that we have been one.
So I really have a big love for them. They don't know because they were not, they don't know as I've told you. But if it wasn't for them, we would not be here.
So they didn't come to Aaniqua?
They did. Aaniqua's father was there. Okay. Yeah. They are, most people even on our channel, they assume I am not, I'm not Islam. I'm not a Muslim. But I converted. Yeah, I went the same place we did our nikah is the same place I converted. Yeah, I converted, and a few people know this. Actually, close people to me, they know my Muslim name. Yeah, it's Malik Abdul. That's very few people who know it. Yeah, Malik Abdul. Yeah.
So now the Muslim received you with dreadlocks.
Yeah. When I went, I had the dreadlocks for my nikah. Yeah, I found a very
warm welcome.
Yeah, very good welcome from the Imam. Everyone who was there, they were very welcome, and they accepted me for who I am.
Their coming together shows how strong love is. It challenges the unfair judgments that still exist in our society.
In everyone's heart, the belief is always just one. Like you can see the warmth in everyone's heart. So follow that belief and keep very strong. Our youth, this generation is a very unique generation. It's a very unique generation. Ian calls it a generation of miracles because what we create are miracles. Yeah. So continue creating your miracle. Don't let anyone stop you. We all have a miracle inside us. Each one of us.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Continue create your miracles.
Continue creating your miracles. Please do.
My entire relationship with Aaniqua, it's always been facing fear after fear after fear after fear. And one thing that I've come to realize is all the good things, they're always on that other side of this fear that I have. If it's to come and start staying with Aaniqua, there's a fear. If it's telling our parents that I want to marry your daughter, because I actually had to call the dad and tell,
tell me.
I had to get in contact with the dad, and the dad asked me. Then it was long time. It was before I started supporting myself, and he told me, okay, you want to take my daughter, do you have your support? Can you support yourself? So from there is when I started now to get myself in check. Yeah, I got myself in check.
So you appreciate her dad for...
Yeah. Actually the dad is a good friend of mine. Yeah, we are good friends with the dad. Yeah, he loves me, he loves to communicate with me.
So now you need to win the heart of the mom.
There is where the trick is. The plan is to make the daughter happy. I'm sure as the daughter grows and she becomes who she's meant to be, the mom, as long as they don't divert her daughter into things,
And if you would love to come learn about Ian and Aaniqua, more about our journey, our YouTube channel is called Rakistani Couple, Rastaman and Pakistani Couple. We are also on other social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Our accounts have the same name all over. And on our bio, if you would like to get in touch with us, we have an email address on our YouTube bio. Kindly check out our YouTube bio. It has a little bit more information of how you can get in touch. We are waiting and hoping that you guys come in plenty and join our family, join our tribe.
With their bravery and dedication, they created a new story that values love more than unfair judgments and togetherness more than separation. Let this teach us to welcome differences, tear down walls, and pick love over everything else.
Thank you for your time. May God bless each one of you in abundant grace. We send you all our love and honor.
Thanks for watching. I am Brian Jason, and this is Afrimax English. Please remember to subscribe.